Happy holidays and welcome to our annual look back at some of our best and worst takes of the year, where we take the opportunity to laugh at ourselves and sometimes laugh at you too. Don't think we're letting you off the hook here. We see the comments. This is Refiltered. Let's get started with our worst takes of the year. I'm giving myself a bit of an out here because I said this before we learned that Steven Adams would be sidelined for the entire season. But holy hell does our episode suggesting the Grizzlies would thrive without Ja Morant look terrible in hindsight. We also said the Mavs would regret trading for Kyrie Irving and that they were doomed to a dark future after re-signing him. That might still be the case, but as of right now, Luka Doncic's Mavs are playing their best ball in years. Sticking with our Southwest Division theme, that was me telling you this new-look Rockets team had disaster potential written all over them. Ridding themselves of Kevin Porter Jr. helped, but still, sometimes you've got to eat crow, and I definitely have to here.
What an idiot.
I'm obviously not the first person to suggest the Timberwolves needed to trade Karl Anthony Towns, but Wolves fans should be pretty damn thrilled Minnesota didn't listen to me. For the first time since the peak KG era 20 years ago, this team looks like a legit contender, with Cat fitting in as a perfect number 2. There are a couple takes we'll give ourselves half marks for. I did proclaim the Warriors dynasty dead earlier this year, but I also bought back in after the Chris Paul trade, And I did say the new look Lakers would be a problem in the playoffs after their trade deadline remodeling. But I also said LeBron James should have requested a trade 3 months before that, But hey, we all make mistakes, just like What Is My Name 218, who didn't think Chet Holmgren belonged in a preseason conversation with Victor Wembanyama.
I got a lot of problems with you people. Now, you're gonna hear about it.
Alright, now for me to brag about our best takes. Back in January, I explained how a more refined version of Kristaps Porzingis had turned himself into the type of star contenders should trade for, capable of doing more by doing less. Lo and behold, the unicorn is now playing a lesser but still integral role for the championship favorite Celtics. Months before the playoffs tipped off, we told you why the Nuggets could win it all, despite what were some major defensive concerns at the time. I don't need to remind you how that turned out. On a more sour note, while imploring the Raptors to either be sellers at the 2023 trade deadline or go all in for a player like Dame in the summer, I said this at the time. If they stand pat though, don't be surprised to see them facing the same dilemma a year from now. A year later, with Fred VanVleet having already walked away for nothing as a free agent, the Raptors are indeed facing the same dilemma. They're barely clinging to life in the play-in race while employing a number of high-profile pending free agents.
I hate that I got that right.
After the Thunder were eliminated from the 2023 play-in tournament, we told you that even without making a major move, OKC was built to contend in 2024. Have you looked at the standings lately? Another prediction we'll take a victory lap on? But while the basketball world was having fun dunking on Dylan Brooks last spring, we warned the Grizzlies that they'd regret letting him walk, and that Brooks would still get paid. Check and check. Now, no one takes pleasure in injuries, but I'll remind you that Bradley Beal's checkered injury history was one of the reasons we thought the top-heavy Suns might come to regret acquiring the former All-Star. Well, a third of the way through the season, Phoenix's new Big Three has logged just 24 minutes together over 2 games, with Beal's back and ankle injuries the main culprit. Sorry, none ya business 736 and Justine Bourgeois 3420. Speaking of injuries and bang-on predictions, kudos to Jonah for not being dissuaded by Shohei Ohtani's torn UCL. And finally, I don't think I've ever been proven right as quickly as Draymond Green proved us correct. Just a couple weeks after I said Draymond's reaction to his suspension for putting Rudy Gobert in a chokehold insinuated he was going to get himself in trouble again and cost the Warriors again, Green was back at it, earning an indefinite suspension for whatever the hell this was on Yusuf Nurkic.
They know me. I know who I am. I'm not embarrassed by who I am.
But in all seriousness, regardless of whether we were right or you were wrong, we sincerely appreciate all of your support, views, comments, feedback, jokes, and yes, even your occasional, sometimes deserved trolling in 2023. You help make this channel and community what it is. So on behalf of all of us here at The Score, thanks for another great year together, and we'll see you in 2024.
Thanks for watching. If you liked this video and want to see more content like this, be sure to hit that subscribe button.